Good evening, all. The President, the Deputy Chief Dental Officer, all deans, present and past, friends, colleagues, and honoured guests. I extend a warm welcome to you all, especially to Andrea Pendlebury, who is here with us this evening. I'm greatly honoured as the Faculty of General Dental Practice UK's 7th Dean to deliver this, the third Malcolm Pendlebury Memorial Lecture, especially as this is during the faculty's 20th anniversary celebrations. This is no longer a fledgling faculty. It has come of age and has become an established presence and force in the world of UK dentistry today. It has got here by achieving much that Malcolm would have been very proud of. In the time since I was elected 3 years ago, I've had a unique vantage point from which to view this faculty's progress. Today, on behalf of the faculty, I hope to share and review these achievements to date and to suggest what could be the faculty's future plans and ambitions by looking ahead to the challenges we will all face in the next 20 years. But first, I would like to pause at this juncture and to report on a happy event. This morning, the faculty board elected Trevor Ferguson as my successor to take over from me after the June 14th board meeting as the faculty's 8th Dean. Please join me in offering our heartiest congratulations and good wishes to Trevor. I would also request of you to give him the same solid support, help as necessary, and constant encouragement that you have been generous enough to give me so that he can continue to take this faculty to even greater heights. Trevor, where is Trevor? Thank you. As my tenure of office nears its end, I have the opportunity to be more open and perhaps even bolder in what I have to say today. It goes without saying that the views to be expressed here this evening will be my own personal ones and are not necessarily those of the faculty or its board. Indeed, the Dean-elect is not necessarily obliged to take any notice of my observations, nor to follow or embrace my thoughts for the future. Each leader must follow his own drumbeat and listen to it, and act as demanded by the context that the faculty's members find themselves, and in particular their patients. We must never forget that it is for them that we are, as a profession, exist. I want to start by looking very briefly at the history of the faculty and the justification for its existence. The vast bulk of dental treatment is carried out in the primary care setting. 95% is the figure regularly quoted by the CDO by general dental practitioners. The late 80s and early 90s saw the emergence of groups of general dental practitioners, GDPs, with a vision dedicated to the cause of improving standards through continual postgraduate education and training. Through delicate negotiations between these groups, the faculty was founded on 16th May 1992 to give general dental practice a voice and an academic home here at this college. I'm not sure if Stephen is here. Is he? Stephen's not here yet? Okay. Stephen Rear became the first dean, and many of us here today were present on that historic date. The founding principle was to raise standards and improve patient care through education, training, assessment, and research. There was also the strong underlying aspiration to one day have a college of dentistry, even a royal college. That, I genuinely believe, still remains a strong desire for most of us. In 2002, in the faculty's 10th year, the then Dean, Rajarajan, wrote the seminal document, Standing on the Shoulders of Giants. It is interesting to review this paper and see how much of that vision has happened. I want to take 3 seminal points made in the document. First, the idea of a lay advisory group. Involving the public in healthcare decision-making processes at that time was rare. The lay group has flourished. It provides consistently sound advice to the dean and board. The faculty was ahead of many other bodies in establishing such a group. Its members not only contribute enthusiastically to numerous consultations we have to respond to, but also bring in their own expertise from their own fields. This group has organized on the faculty's behalf, some very successful events that have included looking at scope of practice and oral cancer. Second, the need to underpin our activities and ensure standards are evidence-informed. The faculty has expanded its role in promoting research in primary care setting, an issue I shall return to later. Third, engaging with the wider dental fraternity. What can we learn as well as gain support from colleagues working in different environments? The faculty will develop link overseas. Here again, the faculty has been ahead of its time, and I can remember clearly the energy and discussions within the meetings of the International Working Party during Malcolm's deanship, which I used to chair. Last year I travelled to India, the year before with Professor Wilmot, the then dean of our sister college, the FDS. We had a very successful visit to Hong Kong and China. Over time, we have also developed links with several countries in Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, and Asia. Each visit allows an exchange of ideas from which we learn. There are some board members that believe we should not be doing much overseas so that we can concentrate on our members here. This, I would argue, is a very short-sighted view. With the accelerating pace of globalization, in many professions engaging in overseas initiatives is a necessity. We hold a strong reputation for leading in education and training. For this to continue, we owe it to future generations to maintain this lead in this ever-competitive world. All successful relationships need to be worked on. To flourish, the parties involved need to open to new ideas and experiences, to give attention to the other party, to be available, and to be proactive. The global markets have recognized the importance of emerging overseas markets, and so must we. But on the downside, not all issues identified in Standing on Shoulders aspire to have come to fruition, the most outstanding of which is the failure to appropriately recognize the GDP, who has pursued postgraduate education as a commitment to continual professional development. Let me give you a simple example. With the exponential rise in numbers of dental students and dental schools in the world in the last few years, there is known to be a lack of clinical teachers. Part-time GDPs are, of course, very welcome by the dental schools and valued by students. However, despite the invaluable experience or additional qualifications, they have little accompanying status or rights. My contention is that many of these faculty's fellows, with their combination of skills, would make excellent and inspirational teachers. Their skills, knowledge, experience, and perhaps above all professionalism must be suitably recognized and rewarded. And this is going to be an ongoing campaign.